Welcome back to another daily code breakdown. Today we are looking at a hard problem called XOR after range multiplication queries 2. Before we dive in, please feel free to drop any questions you have in the comments below. I'll make sure to read them and respond. Here is the problem page, but it's a bit of a mouthful, so let's walk through it slowly. We are handed a list of numbers, and we are given a list of instructions or queries. Each instruction has 4 parts. For each instruction, we start at a specific spot on the left, multiply the number there by a given value, and then jump forward a set number of steps, repeating this until we hit a right boundary. After running all these complicated multiplying instructions, we just need to bitwise XOR all the numbers in the final list together and return that result. Let's look at a simple example to see it in action. Our list is 3 ones, and our instruction says, start at 0, end at 2, take steps of 1, and multiply by 4. Because our step size is 1, we just move through every single number in that range and multiply it by 4. Finally, we take our new list, XOR all the 4s together, and we get our answer, which is 4. That example was easy, but here is the catch. What if our list is huge, we have thousands of instructions, and the step size is tiny? If we simulate every single step one by one, we would do 10 billion operations, which will instantly cause a time limit exceeded error. So how do we fix this? The secret lies entirely in that step size variable. We can use a trick called square root decomposition. We are going to separate our instructions into 2 groups based on whether the step size is bigger or smaller than the square root of the length of our list. For the instructions with large step sizes, we can actually just use brute force and simulate it directly. Because the steps are so big, we skip over almost everything. Even in the worst case, a single instruction will only touch a few hundred numbers, which is super fast. But if the step size is small, like 1 or 2, we are touching way too many numbers, so we need a clever math trick. For these tiny steps, we group all instructions that have the exact same step size together, so we can handle them in bulk. To process them in bulk, we use a concept called a difference array. Usually this is for adding numbers across a range, but we will adapt it to multiply instead. Instead of looping through the whole range, we just record the multiplier at the starting point, and then we record the reverse of that multiplier right after the endpoint to cancel it out. Because we are dealing with massive numbers and modular math, the reverse of multiplying isn't just division, it's a special calculation called the modular inverse. Once we mark the starts and the stop cancels, we just sweep across the list one time, dragging the multiplier forward until it hits a cancel marker. Here is the full Python solution implementing both the brute force for big steps and the difference array for small steps. Let's break it down into pieces. First, we set our modulo boundary, find our list size, calculate the square root threshold, and prepare empty lists to group our small step queries. Next, we go through every instruction. If the step size is big, we literally just loop through and multiply the numbers right then and there. If it's small, we save it for later in our grouped lists. For each small step size, we reset our difference array to 1s. We multiply the start spot by our value, and then calculate exactly where the range ends, so we can drop our undo multiplier there. After marking the starts and stops for a specific step size, we sweep across the array, dragging the multipliers forward by the step size amount, and finally apply those resulting multipliers to our main numbers list. Once both the big steps and small steps are totally finished, we simply loop through our final numbers list, XOR everything together, and return the answer. A quick note on edge cases. Because we are multiplying values repeatedly, the numbers would grow infinitely large and crash our program, so we absolutely must apply the modulo operator on every single multiplication step, not just at the end. So how fast is this? The time complexity balances out to order n plus q times the square root of n plus q log n for the modular inverse. The space complexity is order root n plus q to hold our groups. The key lessons here are that splitting logic based on a square root threshold can save a problem from timing out, and difference arrays are incredibly versatile, even working for multiplication if you use modular inverses. As always, I have the full code translations for Java, C++, and JavaScript coming right up. You can copy and paste all of them directly from my website at the link in the description. Here is the complete logic written out in Java. Next up, we have the C++ version. And finally, the solution translated into JavaScript. Before we finish, I want to mention why this channel looks and sounds the way it does. You can probably tell I am using an AI voice. I built this automated system to instantly generate clean study guides for myself the moment these daily problems drop. I am sharing them here to help you study too, and I've actually changed the format of these videos recently to be faster and more visual. Please let me know in the comments if you prefer this style. And remember to ask any coding questions there too. I run zero ads and take no sponsorships, so if you want to support my goal of eventually covering literally every LeetCode problem, you can chip in at buymeaboba.com/LeetCodeDaily. Please subscribe, turn on notifications, and I'll see you tomorrow.